Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video, we'll be providing our conclusion and the reflection regarding the entire malware analysis. First of all, three types of analysis were performed on the malware. Firstly, it was the basic static analysis, where we studied the malware without actually executing it. So we used tools such as PID, dependency walker, to gain information to tell us more about the malware's functionality. Next, we perform advanced static analysis, where we disassembled the malware and studied the assembly code of it. Through that, we can better find more information regarding the malware's functionality. Last but not least, we perform basic dynamic analysis, where the malware was executed in a virtual machine and we studied what the malware actually does. And through that, we made use of tools such as Rackshot, Process Monitor, Process Explorer, and etc. So throughout the entire malware analysis, we found out that the malware is actually a keylogger, and the malware logs keystrokes of the victim in the background to ensure that the victim does not get suspicious. So the malware also adds a new registry key in the infected host to ensure that it is always executed when the users log into the system. So the malware provides a interface or a pop-up menu for attackers to use and configure the malware to change the different kinds of data or ways to log information. So last but not least, the malware has capabilities to log other forms of data, such as the URL of websites that the user frequently visits. So next, how to remove the malware. So the simplest way to remove the malware is to install a free antivirus software such as AVG. So once you downloaded the antivirus software and run a scan on the entire computer, the antivirus software will be able to detect the malware and remove it. So if you don't want to download a antivirus software, you can always uninstall the malware using the pop-up menu that we have discovered in the dynamic analysis video. So in the pop-up menu, there's an option for you to uninstall the malware. So simply by clicking the uninstall button, the malware will be removed. However, there's another way, which is to boot up in safe mode. So how to tell whether you are in safe mode? You are in safe mode when you see the two words safe mode at the corner of your screen. So once you are in safe mode, the malware will not be executed during the system startup. So once you have started the system, you can delete the malware itself by navigating your way to where the malware is located, which we have also discovered in the dynamic analysis video. So in order to completely remove the malware, it is best to delete the registry key that was added by the malware itself to ensure its persistency. So the same way is to identify the registry key, which is also done in the dynamic analysis video, and delete it manually. So our reflection of the malware analysis. So the malware requires an attacker to use the system, since it has a pop-up menu and the attacker has to use the pop-up menu to configure the malware in order to suit his needs. So the attacker must have access to the victim system in order to make use of the pop-up menu. Otherwise, he will not be able to configure the malware. So the malware could also be executed on the attacker's system, and then the attacker would just ask the victim to use his infected system, and then all the data entered by the victim will be logged and recorded. So since we know it's a keylogger, the malware could potentially retrieve personal information such as credit card information from victims. So if the victim were to use the attacker system or to use the infected system to purchase things online using his credit card credentials, the malware could potentially record those information, and the attacker would just have to access those stored information and in order to compromise the victim's credentials. So with all these possible bad scenario for the victim, it is best for the victim or for all of us to have a updated antivirus software in order to prevent such thing from happening. With an updated antivirus software, malware such as this will not be allowed in the system and will be purged immediately if downloaded. This is to ensure that such scenario will not happen. So now we'll move on to our reflection on the assignment itself. So basically the making of the videos were very tough since it was our first time and we were not very comfortable with doing this, as we were nervous and we were not sure whether we are doing the right thing or not. So next, we did not prepare any script, and most of the things we say were all ad-lib. Since we do not really have time to create script, we decided that ad-lib was the most conventional way. So it was also not easy to find a place to record, since most of the areas we decided to do our recordings are quite noisy, and normally we have to wait until the surrounding has quietened down in order for us to begin our recording. So we found that another thing is that we found one of the analysis, specifically advanced static analysis, was the hardest to do, since the malware was very big and had many different functions and subroutines. It was very tedious for us to keep looking through the subroutines one by one until we find one that we could really make use of. So advanced static analysis is really hard to do for us since our malware is very big. So overall, due to the difficulty in recording videos and our inconfidence, we've normally messed up the video quite a few times and had to re-record the entire footage. So that took up a lot of time. So yeah. So with that, we come to the end of our malware analysis video. So we hope you enjoy it. Thank you.